Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha. If it's your first time here, also known as Healing Honey. And you guys, I missed you guys. Happy spring. Today is the first day of spring. It's March 20th. You guys, we are so connected to the earth. If you want to make any changes in your life, now is the perfect time to do it. And I want to talk to us today about change, because a lot of times we feel like we're powerless and we can't do anything to change our life, but it's not true. And one of the main reasons I made this channel is just to document my growth, like my personal journey, my spiritual evolution, my glow up. And you guys, the glow up is so real. I don't mean physically, but I mean internally. If you check out some of my old videos, you'll see, how much I've changed as a person. And it's been beautiful, but it's been pretty difficult too. I realized that it was 2 years ago today that I made a decision to quit smoking weed. And that was a really big deal for me because I had been smoking for like over 10 years, every single day, all of the time. All of my friends did it. It was part of my lifestyle. It was my comfort zone. It was March 20th of 2021 where I just made a decision of like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I changed. And so think about that. Like, after doing something for so long, it just took a moment to make a decision and stick by it. And so change is very much possible. We're always changing, whether we realize it or not. I've done 2 big chops on my hair and my hair is just growing, whether I realize it or not. But changed it up today. But yeah, so it's really cool. Like, I encourage you to start a YouTube channel too. Like, if you want to express yourself, if you're creative, if you have a message for the world, like, I encourage you to, because you can go back and like, you're documenting your evolution and it's really cool, but it's kind of cringy. I literally put a video on Pride yesterday. I was like, what? Because even though, like, how much you can change will surprise you in 1 year, in 2 years. Like, imagine 5, 10 years. So I don't ever want you to feel powerless. I don't ever want you to feel stuck in your life, and that can happen sometimes. Our own limiting beliefs can get to us, or maybe it's like your family, or maybe it's your friends, or just your fears will have you believing that that's just the way you are. It's too late for you. That's just the way it is. That's what everybody does. Like, why should you bother to change? I can't change. I shouldn't change. But the truth is, if you feel a conviction to, you can. And that's the most beautiful part of life, is that God has granted us power and freedom. And so we are constantly choosing our life all the time. You're choosing your life. Like, you're co-creating your life with the universe, with God. You're saying, you're having an intention, and then that creates a belief, and then you're taking action. So if there's something in your life that you don't like, you have the power to change it. If there's a mindset you want to adopt, you can. You can change for the better. Once you make that decision, okay, that's when the work really begins. And that's what I've been learning in my life, is that, yeah, I made the decision to stop weed. I gave myself a challenge, which sometimes if it seems like something really big that you want to switch out of your life, like, start small. So I told myself, okay, 30 days. Like, on a whim, I'm like, okay, 30 days. And I did it, and that turned into like 60 days. And then I remember going back and picking up, and I'm like, oh shoot, I kind of, summertime hit, spring was over, and I was dabbling with it again. Fall time hit, and I was picking up like once a month. So definitely not as often, but I like kind of reverted back to smoking. And then someone I follow on YouTube, which I'm so grateful for, like, made a video and said, like, just stick by your decision, and it really stuck with me. And I'm so grateful for that. And it made me think, like, okay, I don't want to be on the fence going back and forth. And I just made a decision, like, don't do it. And to go from smoking 2 times a day minimum, and me and my friends, it'd be like, we're going to the grocery store, we're going to do it. We're going to work out, we're going to do it after. Oh, we're going here, we're going there. Like, it was an everyday constant thing. If I didn't have any, somebody I knew had some, or they're offering it. And so to really remove myself from that, it took a lot of effort, discipline, and just conviction, you know? And so the decision was the easy part in a way, but then sticking to it, you know, and then it got easier and easier and easier. And so I'm like really proud of myself. It's been 2 years and I feel like a different person. Like, does the idea to smoke still cross my mind? Yeah. But now I'm more conscious to know, like, oh, it's when I'm stressed out, or it's when I'm trying to avoid my feelings that, oh, I want to reach for that. But now I'm wise enough to know that after I smoke, like, my problems are still gonna be there. And that just slowed me down. That just numbed me. Like, that's not really gonna do much for my life. It's not gonna solve any problems. Like, I'm avoiding my feelings, like I'm hurting my body. So I just choose not to do it. Whenever that thought arises, like, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Like, I spent so many years doing that. Where did it really get me? You know, like nowhere. You know, so when we think about spring and the season that's just started, it's all about starting fresh. Spring is all about creation, new life, fresh start, new bloom, new chance for you, new season, new you. I really love spring because it's just so symbolic in our life. When I quit smoking 2 years ago, I made that decision mid-puff, you know, it was March 20th. It was the first day of spring, but I didn't know that. It was the start of a new year, and I didn't know that. But inside, we're connected to the earth, where everything is connected. It was a chance for me, and there's a chance for you right now, all of the time, not just the first day of spring, but if you want something new in your life, right now is a beautiful time to do it, to sync yourself with the seasons and really just be patient. Check out my short that I made, and I was like documenting this tree in front of my old condo and just watching it grow. Like, it takes months and months and months. So it's like, when you want a change in your life, you're gonna have to be patient with yourself, and you're gonna have to give yourself grace and be soft with yourself, gentle. Be there for yourself when fears arise, when your shadow self comes up, when you're seeing parts of yourself that are icky and don't feel good and that you didn't know were there. Like, instead of shaming yourself and criticizing yourself for it, being so harsh with yourself, you can just be like kind to yourself and be patient, because change happens slowly. Like, the decision can happen, but then the actual process takes so much time. I just wanted to encourage you guys and just share that we can change, because sometimes we'll have a lot of self-doubt, or the world will tell you that you can't do it, or why bother, because they're stuck, because they're not in a good place. So they may project that onto you. So I just wanted to share that you can. I'm a living testimony of that, you guys. And when I go back and see some of my old videos, I'm like, wow, I can spot where I was like suffering in my own life, in my own journey, and then like the growth that I've experienced, and it's beautiful to see. And so I don't feel ashamed. I feel so grateful. You know, I feel so grateful for this journey. And so anything you want to change in your life, but it's a process, you know, make the decision, that's the start, and then stick to it, baby steps, and it'll get easier. And you guys, you know, to even know that you want to make a change in your life, I had to be alone to really listen in and tap into my inner world to see what my soul is like telling me. Because, you know, we're always changing, but are we changing for the better or for the worse? Like, is there making our life better? Are we on autopilot, or are we being intentional with our decisions? Like, are we choosing to grow, like, and to evolve, expand in the ways that we want to, because we're so powerful. Like, God has like given us this blank canvas, which is your life, and giving you a paintbrush, and he's like, go for it. You know? And so it's like, when we are stuck or feeling stuck, it's natural, but we can break free and we can create anything we want, but it should be what you want and not what the outside world is telling you to do. You have to listen to your own heart, but to do this, you have to detach from the outside world, ignore what everyone else is saying, drown out the noise, go within and listen, and you can do it. You can do it. I'm gonna tell you a personal story. In December of 2020, so 2 years ago and some change, I was visiting home in California for Christmas. It was the Christmas season, and we had a really nice dinner outside, and Then some of my family members decided to stay down there and drink and smoke and turn up a little bit. And I was like, I said goodnight and I went upstairs. I put my daughter to bed and I was just relaxing, like in my bed, just thinking time for myself, right? Just a little bit of time for myself and just looking up and thinking. And the window was open and I overheard 3 different couples just talking and spending time laughing and talking about their lives. 2 of them were married, they're older. And one was my age, like a family member, talking about their new relationship and buying a home and all these things. And at that very moment, like, I just felt so sad. And I was like, about like where I was in my life. And it's not about comparing, but it's just about change. I felt in my own soul, like for the first time at like 30 something years old, like 31, 32, I was like, I want to change in my life. There I was alone and like not married and wherever I was in my life, right? So I was like, for the first time ever, I thought, oh my gosh, marriage sounds good. Like a solid relationship, like, and I was never that girl, you guys. Like, I know so many women grow up planning their wedding, and I've been watching that show, Say Yes to the Dress, and like I see young women go in there, they're like 24 years old and they're getting married, and like that was just never me. Like I was never that little girl planning her wedding. I never had an aspiration to be married at 24. Like I'm a Capricorn sun. Like I'm like, what change am I making in the world? Where am I going? What's up with my career? I'm starting businesses. Like I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm a free spirit. So my own personal journey was different, and I was just different. And so, but by the time I was in my early 30s, I was like, I felt a change within me. I wouldn't have been able to even recognize like what's making me sad or what's making me feel some type of way. What is this change that's trying to speak to me if I wasn't like tapped into myself? And so that's okay. I made a decision at that moment, like, okay, I'm done playing around. Like since I was 18 years old, I didn't really put too much effort to love or relationships. I wasn't really worried about that. And I had a lot of commitment phobia, a lot of like, I see a butterfly, so symbolic. Commitment phobia, seeing a lot of, relationships that didn't work out, divorce and things like that growing up. I had a bad idea of what love was. And so I just avoided it. Like, I'm good, let me go over here. So what did that lead to for me? Well, toxic relationships, subconsciously choosing partners that were not going to be good for me because I was afraid to be in a healthy relationship anyways. I didn't think it existed. Like, I guess you could call it trauma within us, and it's probably all throughout the world. But once again, you have to do some inner work, some inner reflection to know what your true beliefs are and face yourself, even the parts that don't feel so great. And that's like shadow work, and so I'll link my shadow work video down below. But once again, like if inside I thought to myself at that moment, oh, well, I'm changing, like now I do. So no more situationships, no more toxic relationships, no more chasing the wrong guys that don't really want a relationship and me trying to, force them or whatever the situation, or be with somebody just because I don't want to be alone and it doesn't feel right. All of those things, in that moment, I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to change. And so it started with the decision, but then I had to face my fears. Well, what led up to me behaving like this? And just healing myself. And it required me forgiving myself and forgiving other people and looking at other situations and being like, just because those were their experiences and that's the stuff they created in their life, doesn't mean that it has to be that way for me. And allowing myself a chance to just start fresh and make a life that feels good to me. I don't regret my 20s and all the lessons and ups and downs because that's what I needed to experience. I had so many good times and also bad times. That was my journey. So it's not about comparing your life, but it's about if you want to make a change in your life, it's possible. It's possible for me, and I'm still very much on this journey. I had to confront the person that I was seeing at the time, and it was so off and on, and, you know, explain to him that I had to that I was gonna cut this off. And that was kind of tough because we were friends with benefits for so long, and he felt like betrayed or whatever. And it wasn't anything to do with him, it was me that was changing. So it includes making tough decisions, and it includes letting go. And that can be hard because we feel like it's hard. Change can be hard, but it's possible. And that's the point of this video. It can be tough, but it's possible, and God is with you every step of the way, encouraging you, but you have to listen in. If there's a change, allow yourself, give yourself the permission to change and heal. It irks me so bad when I overhear someone saying that you're glued to your past or you're glued to your past behavior. No, you're not. I've broken addiction in my life. I've changed my inner world so much. I've changed my perception of myself, started to care for myself, heal my past, forgive people who've really wronged me, forgive myself, have a new perspective on love, relationships, marriage, new faith in myself, in the world, and other people, and give yourself that chance. If there's something that you want to change in your life, you can do it. Create what you want, but first you have to decide what you want, you know, and if you mess up, it's okay. You guys, I counted the days. It feels so weird to say this, but I'm over 800 days celibate because I told you, when I decided, okay, I'm gonna change my life, I'm not gonna just mess around. I've been celibate for over 2 years, and so it kind of does get easier. The weed thing, I'm no, I don't crave it. I don't really think about it, you know, and so you're gonna learn so much about yourself, and you're gonna come back to who you really are and discover your own strength. But it just takes some courage and some faith. Have faith in yourself and allow yourself to bloom. I have this shirt I created on Etsy, Let Yourself Bloom, because I'm just such a believer in that. I've seen, with a little bit of faith in myself, I've felt myself transform into a beautiful butterfly, and I love it. And it feels like me living my authentic self now, not living through the fears. Because when we talk about addiction, you're trying to avoid something, there's some fear there, there's some anger, some pain, some hurt. You don't want to live your life that way forever. You want to get to the root to heal it. Healing honey, you know, love is beautiful, love is amazing, love is everything. And so why stay stuck in fear? Why should I be limiting myself to be oh no, it's never gonna work out? Your beliefs create your reality. If I think, oh, it's never gonna work out, okay, it won't. Oh, men cheat, all men are trash, and all these horrible ideas from the world, if I subscribe to that, if I agree with it, then those will be the experiences that I have. But instead, with a little bit of faith and a little bit of curiosity and just leaping into uncertainty, giving myself a chance, trusting God. And God showed me, no, look it. And now in my life, I'm so grateful because I have examples in my life that I see with my own eyes where I'm there are so many good men in the world, amazing, that have really helped to nourish me and help me on my journey. And I don't need weed to feel happy. I feel so peaceful most of the time. And when something is happening in my world, I'm there for myself. I've learned how to do this. So there's so many blessings for you on the other side of fear. And there's so many opportunities for you when you allow yourself to change. You just have to be intentional, focus with direction, and we're constantly evolving. So do it intentionally. That's really the point of this video. And I'm here with you guys. I have to humble myself. When I watched those videos 2 years ago, I'm sis, it was not too long ago. You was in a struggle bus, struggling inside. And so be patient, have some fun, have a light heart, and just be there for yourself. I'm here with you, and I'm sending you so much love and so much power and healing on your journey. Drop me a comment. Let me know what's going on in your life. How did this resonate for you? Are you gonna make any changes? I have faith in you, and I'm sending you so much love. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.